Hello. So I've got another flow for you. This is going to be kind of a full body flow, incorporating lots of different aspects of the yoga asana practice. So there's going to be a gentle warm up for your spine, some sun salutations, some standing poses, and then maybe a little short seated practice just towards the end. So we'll get started. Going to start on your back. So just coming to lie on your back, knees bent, heels about hip distance apart, feet, soles of the feet pressing down into the ground. Arms can come alongside your body, gazing straight up above you. So you can actually keep your eyes closed for this one if you like. So palms facing down. We're just going to start to move with the breath, incorporating a little bit of breath as well, just to move our body with the rhythm of our breath. So on your inhale, pressing into the soles of your feet, you're just going to lift your spine off the floor. So moving into a really gentle bridge. And then exhaling as you lower your spine down one vertebrae at a time. So just starting to stimulate your parasympathetic nervous system. So just calming your breath down, slowing it down a little bit. Inhaling as you raise up, lifting up. Really gentle bridge just to begin with. Just waking up your spine and your core. Exhaling as you lower down. Inhaling as you lift up. And exhaling as you lower down. One more just like that. Inhaling as you lift. And exhaling as you lower back down. And then from there, just bring your knees into your chest. So giving your knees a gentle hug. And starting to circle. Maybe just do a couple of circles on your spine in one direction. Hands on the back, hands on your knees. And then moving in the other direction. And then placing the soles of your feet back down on the mat. Pick your right leg up, bring your right knee to your chest, and then place the right ankle on top of your left knee. Sole of the right foot should be nice and flexed to keep that leg active. And then interlace your hands around the back of your left knee. So just gentle hip stretch, thread the needle. And then you can encourage that left knee into your chest if you feel like you've got the space. If your hips feel super tight, you can just leave that left foot resting down onto the mat. If you like a little bit more stretch, you can bring that left knee in just however feels comfortable. And then lowering that left foot down, just swapping legs. So bring your right sole of the foot down onto the mat, picking your left foot up, ankle on top of your right knee, and then interlacing your hands around the back of your right knee. Breathing there for just a couple of breaths, just opening up your hips gradually. And then releasing down onto the mat. Just a gentle twist. Bring your arms, you can bring them out alongside you in a T shape if you have the space, but I'm just going to bring mine into a cactus shape. So just bring your knees over to the left, moving with your breath. Inhaling back to centre. Exhaling your knees over to the right. Windscreen wiping your legs. Inhaling to centre. And exhaling over to the left. Inhaling back to centre, I can hear my back flicking as I do this. Exhaling over to the right. Inhaling back to centre, one more each side. Exhaling left. Inhaling centre. Exhaling right. Inhaling back up to centre. And then hugging your knees in once more. And then just starting to bring a little bit of momentum into your spine. So bring your hands on the back of your knee creases and start to lift yourself up to seated. So just gradually rocking on your spine into balance as you come up. Not letting your feet touch the ground. Using your core just to keep you stationary if you can. And last one. And then rolling over your feet, coming to all fours. Placing your hands underneath your shoulders, knees directly underneath your hips. And on an inhale, extending your right foot out behind you. Toes of the foot facing down towards the mat, as if there's a wall behind that right foot. Bring your left arm up alongside you. Take an inhale. And then with an exhale, you're going to bring your knee to your nose and elbow in, tucked in. Inhaling, stretching out again, reaching long. Hips nice and level, pelvis nice and level. And exhaling in. Moving with your breath again. Inhaling out. Exhaling, knee to nose. Inhaling out again. And exhaling, knee to nose. Last one, inhaling, stretching out. And exhaling, knee to nose if you can. And then placing your hand and knee back down on the mat. Same thing, other side. So stretching your left leg out behind you, just checking in on your pelvis. So you want to make sure that it's nice and level towards the ground, so not kind of tilting open, which is very, very easy to do. So just check your left foot, so the toes are pointing down towards the ground. Bring your right arm out in front of you. Take an inhale here. And then exhaling as you bring your knee to your nose, bring your right arm in alongside you. Inhaling, stretching out. Exhaling, knee to nose, rounding through your back. Inhaling, reaching out. Exhaling, curling in. Inhaling, reach. And exhaling, knee to nose. Last time. Inhale, reaching out, opening. And exhaling, knee to nose. And then placing your hand and knee back down on the mat. Opening your knees out wide, just releasing back into your child's pose, just recenter yourself. Placing your forehead down onto the mat, arms nice and active, into your balasana, child's pose. And then inhaling back into all fours. Going to tuck your toes. And then lift up into your downward facing dog. So pushing through the hands, you're going to pick your hips up and place them, reach them up and back. So heels of your feet are about hip distance apart. Shouldn't be able to see your heels behind your toes. Just take a look down at your hands. Make sure your hands are about shoulder width apart. Fingers spread wide, palms reaching down into the ground. Thumb and forefinger. A little bit more pressure through those. Shoulders releasing away from your ears, maybe pedaling through your feet, so bending through your left knee, reaching the right heel down towards the mat, and then swapping sides, so bending your right knee, left heel reaching down to the mat. Moving with your breath in your own pace. And then coming to stillness, turn your feet towards the left. So you're just going to gain some length through the right side of your body. Inhaling back to centre, and then bring your heels over to the right. So creating length along your left side body. Inhaling back to centre. And then on your next inhale, moving forwards into your plank pose. So bring your shoulders over your wrists. Gazing just at the top of your mat, keeping your neck nice and long. One long line between the heels of your feet, all the way out through the crown of your head. Taking an inhale here, pushing the ground away. And then as you exhale, moving back into your downward facing dog. So again, we're going to start to move with the breath. Inhaling, coming forwards into your plank pose. Really engaging through your core. Exhaling, downward facing dog. Inhale, plank. And exhale, downward facing dog. One more just like that. Inhale, forwards. And exhaling, downward facing dog. And then from here, walking your feet up towards your hands at the top of your mat. Bending your knees if you need to. Just hanging here in ragdoll pose. Holding onto each elbow maybe swaying from side to side. And then releasing your grip, keeping a nice bend in your knees and just rolling up super slowly to come up to standing. Head coming up last. And then when you reach the top of your mat, just rolling through your shoulders. Keeping your feet about hip distance apart if that feels comfortable. Bring your arms up above your head. I haven't got the space to bring them out wide, so I'm just going to bring them up in front of me, but feel free to bring them out wide. Interlace your thumbs. And take an inhale here, growing long through your spine. And then as you exhale, just reaching over towards the right. So again, stretching through the side body. Inhaling back to centre. Exhaling over towards the left. Just maybe slightly tilting your hips over towards the right. Inhaling back to centre and same thing again. Exhaling over towards the right. Inhaling back to centre. And then exhaling left. Coming back to centre. Releasing your hands down. Now you can either bring your feet together. So big toes touching, heels can either be together or maybe slightly apart. Mine are normally slightly apart. Engaging through your quads. Tucking your tailbone slightly so you're engaged through your glutes. Core is engaged. Shoulders are releasing down and back. Arms active, Tadasana, mountain pose. Let's start with a couple of half sun salutations. So on an inhale, bring your arms up above your head, gazing up at the space between your thumbs. Exhaling as you fold towards the ground, Uttanasana, hands either side of your feet. Inhale, coming up, Ardha Uttanasana, half lift, so you've got a flat back. Exhaling, folding. Inhale, coming all the way up to standing, arms up above your head, gazing up. Exhaling, hands to your heart. Just a couple more times, a couple more of those. Inhaling as you reach up, gazing up. Exhaling as you fold, Uttanasana, forward fold. Inhale, halfway lift, flat back. Exhaling, refold. Inhale, all the way up, arms up above your head. Exhaling, hands to heart. One more just like that. Inhaling up, gazing up. Exhaling, folding. Inhale as you lift and lengthen. Exhaling, forward fold. Inhale, raising all the way up, gazing up. And then exhaling, hands to your heart. Moving on, adding a little bit more onto that. So inhale, bringing your arms up above your head, gazing up. Exhaling, forward fold, Uttanasana. Inhaling, halfway lift. Exhaling, stepping your right foot back behind you, lower the knee down. Inhaling, low lunge, bring your arms up alongside your ears, gazing up. Exhaling, hands either side of your left foot, step back, plank pose. Inhaling in your plank and then exhaling as you lower your knees and then upper body in between your hands. Elbows nice and tucked in alongside your ribs as you lower down. Inhaling, coming forwards into your cobra. We'll just take a couple of breaths to find our place here. So hands underneath your shoulders, toes pressing down into the mat, shoulders releasing away from your ears, and then maybe taking your hands away from the ground, just using your back strength to lift your upper body off the mat. Inhaling and then exhaling, placing your hands underneath your shoulders and then coming back through all fours, tucking your toes, downward facing dog. Inhale. Exhale, release your heels down towards the ground. Inhale as you feel that you're pushing the ground away from you with your palms of your hands. And exhale. Again, just feel like your heels are reaching down towards the ground. On your next inhale, raise your right leg up behind you. Exhale, bring your right foot in between your hands. Lower your back knee down. Inhale as you raise your arms up alongside your ears. Exhale, place your hands either side of your right foot. And then bring your left foot to meet your right at the top of the mat. Inhale as you lengthen through your spine. Exhale as you fold. Inhale, bring your arms up alongside your ears, gazing up. Exhale, hands to heart. Same thing on the other side. Inhale, arms up, gazing up. Exhaling, fold. Inhale, lift and lengthen. Exhale, step your left leg back, lower the knee down. Inhale as you raise your arms up alongside your ears, gazing up. Exhale, place your hands either side of your front foot, stepping back into your plank pose. And then on your next exhale, you're going to lower your knees and then upper body in between your hands. And then cobra once more. Just check your hands are underneath your shoulders. Elbows tucked in towards your body. On an inhale, you're going to lift up slightly. Maybe this time you can put a little bit more weight through your hands. Just check your shoulders are releasing away from your ears. Inhaling and then exhaling, lowering down, tucking your toes. Maybe you can move back in one movement. So pushing through your hands, moving back through plank, downward facing dog. Just a couple of breaths here, just rechecking your alignment here. So palms, fingers really pressing down into the ground. Heels about hip distance apart, feet about hip distance apart, hips reaching up and back. Inhale, lifting your left leg, raising your left leg up and back. Exhale, bring your left foot in between your hands. Lower your right knee down. Inhaling, bring your arms up alongside your ears, low lunge. Exhale, replacing your hands. And then stepping your right foot up to meet your left. Exhaling as you fold. Inhale, raising all the way up, arms up. And then exhaling back to standing at the top of your mat. We're just going to add a little bit more onto that. And come and stand the other way actually. Inhaling, raising your arms up. Exhaling as you fold. Inhale as you lift. Exhaling, stepping back into your plank pose. Exhaling as you lower all the way down to the ground, or if it's in your practice, you can move through chaturanga, keeping your elbows nice and close to your body. Inhaling, upward facing dog or cobra. If you're in upward facing dog, we're really pushing through the tops of your feet, and the thighs are off the mat. And then exhaling, downward facing dog. And then from here, you're going to raise your left leg up behind you, and then placing your left foot in between your hands at the top of the mat. Inhaling, coming up into your Anjaneyasana high lunge. Arms alongside your ears, breathing here, really reaching through the heel of your back foot. Just checking your knees not overshooting your ankle at the top of the mat. One more breath here, inhaling. And then as you exhale, you're going to turn your right foot to the long edge of the mat, opening out into Virabhadrasana 2, that's Warrior 2. So you just want to check that your heel is kind of aligned with the arch, your front heel is aligned with the arch of your back foot. Crown of the head reaching up towards the ceiling, left knee is pointing out towards the little toe of your left foot. Arms nice and active, reaching out super long, breathing here. You can gaze, your drishti is over the middle finger of your front hand, so your left hand. And then inhaling, placing your right hand on your leg, on your back leg, reaching your left hand up towards the ceiling, reverse warrior. Really feeling the length along the left side body. And straighten through your left leg. Reach your left arm out in front of you. And then place your left hand on your leg. If it doesn't matter where it goes on your leg, so it can be up on your shin, maybe you can reach a bit further, but trying to maintain a nice long spine. Right arm, you want to reach your shoulder back behind you, so you're keeping a nice open chest. And then if you feel ready, you can bring your right arm up towards the ceiling. If you have got your left hand resting on your leg, try not to put any weight through it. Gazing up if that's comfortable for your neck. Breathing here. And then coming back up with your straight legs, so arms reaching long. And then we're going to step that back foot in slightly. Place your hands on your hips. You're going to turn your hips to face your left leg. So you should be facing the front of your mat. And then if you can, you're going to reach your arms behind you. You can either place them in a reverse prayer, just like that. Or if that's not possible, just hold on to your elbows. So hips, pelvis facing towards the front of your mat, holding onto your elbows or reverse prayer in your practice. Moving into Parsvottanasana is a great hamstring stretch. So inhale as you lengthen through your spine, maybe gazing up, and then exhaling, folding over that front leg, so your left leg folding over. And then you can either gaze just wherever it feels comfortable with your neck, but just keep your head really relaxed in this pose. You should be feeling a really lovely, juicy stretch there. And then coming back up halfway, staying exactly where you are, you're just going to turn right toes to the front of the mat this time, keeping a little bend through your left knee, your front knee, and then just gently coming to balance on that front leg. So you're moving into Virabhadrasana 3, Warrior 3 pose. Really keeping active through that back leg, toes pointing down towards the mat like there's a wall, like you're pushing that back leg into a wall. Gazing forwards. Very nice. And then releasing your hands from wherever they are, placing them back down onto the mat, coming into standing splits briefly, keeping your pelvis square so you're not turning your toes out towards the side. And then from there, you're going to step your right foot back behind you. Place your left hand underneath your left shoulder. And there's an option, we're going to move into Vashisthasana side plank. So if you can place your right hand on your right hip, or you can keep it down to the ground, depending on your balance. We're going to move that left foot to meet the right at the back of the mat. Raising your right hand up towards the ceiling, really pushing through that left hand, reaching your hips up. Breathing here. And then lowering that right hand down onto the mat, coming in through your plank pose. And then moving through Chaturanga, or knees and chest chin down onto the ground. Inhaling plank into your cobra. And then exhaling downward facing dog. Taking a couple of breaths here, I'm going to switch sides again. Inhaling, lengthening through your spine. If you'd like to take a couple of breaths, then feel free to come down into child's pose. And on your next inhale, raising your right leg up behind you. Exhale, bringing up right foot in between your hands at the top of the mat. Inhaling, coming up into Anjaneyasana, high lunge. And again, same thing, reaching back through that left heel. Trying to draw your front ribs in, so you're, it's always a check that I have to do for myself. Just making sure I'm not tilting up through my spine, my lower spine too much. And then on your next, inhaling here, and then exhaling, opening out, warrior two, Virabhadrasana 2. So heel to arch alignment, right heel is lined up with your left arch, gazing over your middle finger of your right finger, your middle finger, your drishti. Just checking that you're not, we always take the path of least resistance, so just make a visual check that your right knee is not kind of rotating in. You want to externally rotate through that hip to open it out a little bit. So the right knee is reaching towards the little toe. And then on your next inhale, placing your left hand on your left leg, reaching your right arm up, reverse warrior, creating length. And straightening through your right knee, with the inhale here, exhaling, reaching over, Utthita Trikonasana, triangle pose. Reaching left hand up towards the ceiling, right hand you can just place it on your right leg. So imagine you're really trying to create this length through your spine. So it doesn't really matter how far down you go, as long as you're maintaining length through that spine. So your crown is reaching forward, tailbone reaching back. And then inhaling as you're coming back up, keeping those legs straight. Bring your hands to your hips. You're just going to step that back foot in slightly, but keeping it out, facing towards the long side of your mat. So maybe you want to, for balance, you might want to move your right foot over towards the side a little bit, the right side. Physically, move your hips to face the front of your mat. And then again, bring your hands behind you, either into reverse prayer or holding on to each elbow. Inhale, reaching your chest up, opening out, slight back bend. Exhaling as you fold over. Just relaxing that neck, trying to release any tension. Focus should just be on that right hamstring. If it feels too tough on your right leg, you can just keep a little micro bend. And then coming back up to halfway, turning that left foot to face the front of the mat, and then just gently moving into your Virabhadrasana 3. So lifting that back leg up behind you, coming forwards, straightening through that front leg if you can, or you just make sure it's nice and active. But if you need to place if you need a micro bend, then feel free. Gazing forwards, shoulders releasing away from your ears, toes of the left foot pointing down to the mat. Really strong through the glutes of your left thigh, your left glute even. One more breath here. Releasing your hands down to the mat. Standing splits. So release the crown of your head down towards the ground. Really keeping active through that back foot. And then placing your left foot down to the back of the mat. Place your right hand underneath your right shoulder. I think I've done this in a really difficult way. So we're going to come into your Vahisasana side plank on this side. So you're going to place your left hand on your left hip and gently moving your foot. Probably would have been easier to do it the other way, but what's the point of making it easy? Reaching your left hand up towards the ceiling, gazing up if you can. And exhaling, place your left hand down onto the mat. And then lower your knees and chest chin, all move through Chaturanga. Inhaling, Cobra or upward facing dog. Exhaling, downward facing dog. And then just a couple of breaths here, just to reset your breath. Feel free to lower your knees down to child's pose. Inhaling through your nose and exhaling through your nose. One more breath here, inhaling and exhaling. Inhaling, raising your heels, coming onto your tiptoes. Exhaling, bending your knees, and then either stepping or jumping your feet to your hands at the top of your mat. Inhale as you lengthen through your spine. Exhaling as you fold. Inhaling, raising up, bringing your arms up. And then exhaling, hands to heart. So we're just going to step your legs nice and wide. Place your hands on your hips. Inhale as you gaze up towards the ceiling. And then exhaling, forward fold, Prasarita Padottanasana, wide leg forward fold. So you can place your hands underneath your shoulders. Inhaling, lengthen, and then exhaling, fold. Inhaling, lengthen, and exhaling, refold. So you can either keep your hands on the ground underneath your shoulders, or you can bring them to the outside edges of your calf muscles, your shins, or you can maybe interlace your fingers around your big toes and your yogi toe look. Many options. And even if you'd like to, you maybe want to move into tripod headstand from here if that's in your practice. Crown of the head reaching down towards the ground. One more breath here. And then on an inhale, placing your hands underneath your shoulders. Walking your hands over towards your left foot. Turning your feet to face the left side of your mat. Lower your right knee down. And then just slightly walk your left foot out towards the left side of your mat. Placing your hands on the ground. Now you've got a couple of options. So we're moving into lizard pose. So depending on your hip flexibility, this may be where you want to go. Maybe if you're a little bit more flexible in your hips, which I'm not, you may want to lower down through your elbows. Try and keep that left knee tucked into your left shoulder blade though, so that it's just kind of collapsing out. You want to keep that left knee really hugging into your shoulder. Maybe you want to keep it more active, so in that way you can untuck your right toes and keep that right leg active. Really just use this time just to feels good for you. I'm going to lower my right knee down. It's exhausting talking while doing poses. And instead of collapsing through your neck, just try and gaze slightly forwards, so you're keeping your spine and neck nice and long. On your next inhale, walking your hands back in, untucking your back toes, and then walking around, turning your toes to face the long edge of your mat, and then coming back to the other side. So you're walking your hands around to the right side this time, lowering your left knee down, walking your right toes over towards the edge of your mat a little bit more. And then same thing as before, try and take the same option. So you're either coming down onto your elbows, maybe you're tucking that back, goes back to that left foot and keeping it as a more active pose, or maybe you're just staying exactly where you are. But also again, remember to keep that left knee tucked in towards the right knee tucked into your right shoulder. Keeping your spine nice and long so you're not just collapsing your neck down like this. Gazing slightly forwards. And walking your hands back in, stepping back into your plank pose from here. And then from plank pose, either lowering down through your knees, chest, chin, or through chaturanga. If you're in chaturanga, keep your shoulders away from your ears, coming onto the tops of your feet, thighs off the ground. And exhaling, downward facing dog. And then from downward facing dog, coming back into your plank pose. And then from plank, we're going to lower all the way down. So keeping your elbows tucked into your body, tucked into your ribs, gazing slightly forwards, come onto your tippy toes. Take an inhale here, and then exhaling, lowering down super slowly, all the way down onto your belly. And then just resting your forehead onto your hands, rolling your hips from side to side. Just going to take a couple of back bends here. So first of all, bring your arms alongside you. And then on an inhale, you're going to raise your arms off the mat, legs off the mat, chest up into your locust pose. Breathing here. And then exhaling, lower everything down to the mat, turning your head face one side. Do that same thing again, but this time we're going to interlace your hands behind you. So bring your hands, clasping your hands behind your back. And then on an inhale, lifting up, legs, upper body, arms, spine long, gazing down towards the ground. Breathing. And exhaling lower. Bring your opposite cheek to the ground this time. And then this time you have the option to either stay in Shalabhasana, locust pose, or you can bend through your legs, reaching the outside edges of your feet. Keeping your heels, your legs about hip distance apart, so you don't want to splay your legs open too wide. And then on an inhale, you're just going to push your feet away from you, so it's going to lift your upper body off the mat. And then if you feel like you can go a little bit further, reaching your knees off the mat and using your legs to really lift your upper body away from you. Dhanurasana, boat pose. Long inhales, or as long as you can, in this uncomfortable pose. And exhaling lower. Making a pillow for your head and resting your forehead on your hands. And then we're going to bring your hands underneath your shoulders and then pushing yourself back through all fours, tucking your toes, lifting up downward facing dog. And then from downward facing dog, bending through your knees and bringing your feet up to meet your hands at the top of your mat. So coming to sit, I'll come and face you. So bring your feet out in front of you. Feet nice and active, raising your arms up alongside your ears as you inhale. And then exhaling, forward fold, Paschimottanasana, forward fold. Releasing your feet and then coming back up. Bending through your right leg. Bring the sole of your foot to your inner left thigh. Turning over to face your left leg. Inhaling as you reach up. And then exhaling as you fold, reaching towards your left toes. And then coming back up, placing your left hand slightly behind you, and then pushing through your right knee. You're going to come back into a slight back bend. And then lowering back down. Bring your right leg out this time, left sole of the foot into your right thigh. Inhaling as you reach up. And then exhaling as you reach towards your right toes. Inhaling as you come back up. Place your right hand behind you. Just going to do the same thing on that side, so reaching up. And releasing back down. And then coming over onto all fours, back into your downward facing dog. Breathing here, just one more breath. Inhaling, raise your right leg up behind you. And then exhale, bring your right knee behind your right wrist. Right foot up towards the left side of your mat, moving into your half pigeon, so walking your left leg back slightly. Inhaling, reaching, extending through your spine. And then exhaling, walking your hands forward, resting the crown of your head on the mat. And then walking your hands back in. That's a quick half pigeon that was. Coming to balance on your hips, you may need to place like a block or a pillow underneath your right thigh. And then bending your left knee, really good, quad stretch. You're going to reach behind and see if you can hold the inner edge of your left foot, sorry. Depending on your quadriceps, it might be screaming at you already. If you can, maybe you want to encourage that foot in a little bit further. Maybe bringing it to the crease of your elbow. Maybe you want to come into mermaid if that's in your practice. And fall over. And then coming back down, placing your hands underneath your shoulders and then stepping back, downward facing dog. Pedaling through your legs here. Inhale, raise your left foot up towards the ceiling. Exhale, left knee behind your left wrist. Left foot out towards the right edge of your mat. Walk your right leg back a little bit. Check your right toes aren't stickling in, and then turning your hips to face the front of your mat again. Walking your hands forward, coming to rest. Either forehead on your hands or staying up on your elbows. Sometimes hip stretches, poses like this can make us feel really uncomfortable, but this uncomfortable is fine, but if it's painful, then just gently move out of it. And then walking your hands back in. Same thing on the other side. I'm going to try not to fall over this time. So bending through your right leg and then reaching back with your right hand, holding onto the inner side of your right foot. And then seeing, just don't take it too far, just see how you go, just take it gently. Maybe encouraging that right foot in, maybe a little more if you can. Taking it step by step. And then if you have that back foot, releasing back down, hands on the mat. Stepping back, final time, downward facing dog. And then from there, stepping or jumping your feet to meet your hands at the top of the mat. And then hugging your knees, giving yourself a nice big hug. And then super slowly, arms alongside, just really gently lowering down, coming to rest on your mat, on your back. Nice sigh. Stretching your legs out in front of you. Hugging your right knee into your chest. And then placing your right arm alongside your body. Maybe it's in a cactus shape, maybe it's just in a T shape. And then using your left hand to bring your right knee over towards the left side of your mat. Just a nice gentle supine stretch. Taking your gaze over towards your right hand, right side of your body. Inhaling back to centre. And placing your right leg back down, bring your left knee in, hugging your left knee into your chest. And then again, stretching your left hand out to the side and bring your left knee over your body. And then coming back to centre and stretching both legs out on the mat in front of you. Palms facing up towards the ceiling, feet opening out towards the side. And Shavasana, final resting pose. Just taking a few moments just for your body to relax. Take in all of those movements you've just taken. And letting your body release down into the ground. And just rigging through your fingers and toes. Circling through your ankles, your wrists. Hugging your knees into your chest. And now when you're ready, rolling over onto one side. And really super gently and slowly pushing yourself up to seated. Going to a comfortable cross-leg position. And then bring your hands to your heart. Opening your eyes. Namaste. Thank you for practicing. Sorry it's a bit rough around the edges. Trying to quickly get a little practice in between homeschooling and other children chaos.